Okay, what's up guys? So I just really wanted to share this video, a cool little device here which I think is the best device I came across for doing any type of embedded Linux hacking that I've come across to date. So a friend of mine basically had this and she gave her kid it and it stopped working and she was going to toss it, but she knows I'm into electronics, and so she was like, she has a little game her son had, and it's not working anymore, and they found it for parts or something like that. And I was like, what brand? And then she was like, it's like a Chinese brand thing she does buy because she didn't really want to get anything expensive, and so I ended up with this this here, and trying to find any information, it was difficult. Just as it was SUP on it, and there's really not much else to go on. So, but I was actually able to hack this. I was able to get Linux in it. Originally I wanted to run Doom, but I ended up with a PS1 emulator on it. And let's just talk about it a bit. So in case you ever come across it, you'll be able to understand. So first, let me take out these screws on this so you can have a pair inside. Oh, but before that, for the first thing, as the battery is a no-name 3.7 volt lithium-ion battery, but this form factor is the Nokia BL5C, and the same in a lot of the Chinese products is BL5C style battery. If anyone on a Nokia phone will be familiar with it. So this is the battery it uses, 1200 milliamps. But once I actually trust this, because these 18650 type batteries, you have to be really careful with them. Like this one, totally fake. I bought some, but I mean just the milliamp hours alone, I did I post it, I didn't do a video. But you want to avoid these and stick to these. But even these are a bit hard to come by now, especially right weight ones. But these BL5C, so I thought I might at least get the battery from it, but then I bought a lot more. So let me take it apart and have a look inside. So I took it apart, and I was expecting to see a blob chip, and I was expecting some kind of RAM or something, but I was had an SD card, and the SD card is where it was corrupted. Let me just I could totally show you the original SD card that came with it. It came with, I think it was either 8 gig. I think I threw the card out because the card wasn't good. But it came with an 8 gig SD card, and that SD card had a corrupt image. And so my first thought was, probably this is to store external images and stuff, because I wasn't sure exactly what games the original had on it. But I suspected was, like probably a NES style stuff. So I saw, it had the power switch here. This I'll put potentiometer for volume adjustment, and this port here is for, looks like some kind of output, probably a AV output, audio output or something like that. And it has SD card. But it turns out this was an AV port. This was a potentiometer for volume, and this is actually a Linux. It actually runs for Linux. So let's take it apart. And you take it apart, you see a nice a nice parallel LCD here with a connector. There's also a small speaker, 3 speaker. There's looks like probably an up amp or some audio IC. A class D, could be a chip class D or class AB, or probably just an up amp. Could just be an up amp because I'm looking at the passives they have, but I didn't really check the chip number just to be exactly what show it is. But this is what handles the driving the speaker. We have this joystick. We have these buttons, and I saw we had a WinBond chip here. So anything with WinBond, it's SPI. So I thought to at least hack it, get some signals. Crystal and some EEPROM, and then there's this this chip. The chip had no, there's no part number on it, nothing. All lights, all angles, just completely sanded off. So that's what it is. It turns out that this chip is actually, this chip is an Allwinner F1C100s, and this is a full Linux based solution. So this chip, it's not an MCU, it's actually a full chip running Linux, and these chips cost like $1 in quantities, like $1 US, and you get 32 megabytes of DDR RAM. In addition to regular SRAM and stuff, you have interface for LCD, for camera. There's a lot of stuff on board this chip, and I'll probably link the data sheet, so you'll see how powerful this chip is. And the nice thing is there was a build root project for embedded Linux with this device and this chip, and after some digging around, there was an engineer, he speaks Spanish, can't remember his name, but I came across a repository, one thing and Linux, and it turns out that there's a group of hackers who have successfully ported some nice embedded Linux tools to this chip and this device in particular. And the original, it's called BitBoy, and it comes with two emulators. They had the Game Boy Color and the regular Game Boy, and I think it was a NES emulator for it. But I was able to actually get a PS1 emulator up on this thing running, believe it or not, because it's the point of having something like this we can play arcade games. So I thought it'd be nice to go through the process, compiling and getting arcade games running on this, and a nice meme emulator. But it can actually do a lot more. This is actually very capable. It's based on the ARM9, so it's last generation. For those of you who don't know, ARM9, before we had these ARM Cortex devices all over the place, ARM9 was the dominant core, and it's actually a fairly recent device. I think it's 2015. So to see a device that recent with ARM9, usually you would see newer devices with that, but this device, what they get here, a professional development board with this kind of layout would actually be very expensive. So to actually have a full Linux system with a display, a nice parallel display for testing stuff, you can actually boot off, load new images off an SD card, and you have standards, things you could work with. This is actually a really good bargain, for working with Linux. So let's put it back together. I'll turn it on and you'll get a demonstration to see how this thing actually operates, that when it's being modded. So we have our Linux system running, and I don't know if you guys know, but getting something like this is one in probably a million. Getting a Chinese brand, no name system like this that not only has a Linux system on build root where you could get Linux up on this, but also there's a lot of mods. So this is a custom embedded Linux GUI. You see a lot of game systems. It's a standard thing, but they ported a music player and calculator and some stuff, and you have a terminal and a video player. And the fact that they could do all this with a $1 chip is what what really amazes me. And the button could be a little better, but you see how much stuff we have on this. So the original game, these are some that came on the Game Boy. I believe it had the Game Boy Advance and the NES. But I was able to add this Super NES, Pocket Super NES, Sega, you know, I was able to get a lot of, you know, emulators on this. And the thing is that I'm not really a game person, and you know me knows I'm not a big game person, but you know, hacking a device, getting Doom to run on it, you know, getting emulators like this to run on it, you know, it's something I really enjoyed. So, you know, messing around with these systems and seeing how they work inside out. Because once you get the hang of, you know, messing around with systems like these, it scales well. So when you get something like a locked Android phone or you know, a lock system, the skills again from hacking around little things like these that breakable. I mean, I literally got it for free. So the skills that I gain from working with little devices like these could go a long way, and this is the best, really good value for money. You know, I checked online, and one like this sells for around, you know, 20 US, and that's insane. A Linux board with, you know, this screen and everything included to have a bootable system. You're looking at least a few hundred US typically. And not only that, to get this nice form factor with it, we could, you know, easily load ROMs in the SD card slot. So you have your SD card slot to load ROMs. It's really good. So let's do a quick demo. Just the knobs slightly. The knobs are slightly off. So let's see your demo. I think actually seeing the PlayStation run was the best, so I think I'll do I could try the PlayStation. And this game here, a few ROMs I was testing. So I could tell you now, Capcom vs. Skipper runs good, the rally game not so much. Gran Turismo runs okay. Playable, not the best, but that's playable. Hydro Thunder, okay, not Marvel Superheroes or Street Fighter, good. Marvel's Capcom. I haven't been able to get Metaslug to work. Yeah, Street Fighter, Alpha 3, Tekken 3. And one of the original games is the stock ROM came with is, you know, the Street Fighter, but the original ROM is it's corrupted, and I really can't get back the original because you can't exactly go on the manufacturer's website. Like, who even is the manufacturer for this thing? There's no, I don't even know who manufactures it, and you have to say that you'll get any type of information. So you have, there we go, and you have a full Linux boot system. Marvel versus Capcom. Let's see, we get have it loaded, and actually loads full PlayStation game. You know, and back in the you know, the 90s, supplies that we are really getting an entire PlayStation 1 console to run on you know, $1. I see that cost $1. Would that be something that is almost impossible to think about? But there it is. So we could start. And it runs really fluid. Really fluid, and you know, you could select, well, you know, considering it has 32 megs of RAM, it's not surprising that you could get this stuff to run on it. So, you know, got nice old style arcade games. But this is the PlayStation 1 PlayStation 1 ROM, not actually a MAME. So I'm not for the PS1 running on this. Take some while to obviously because of the RAM on the device. but it actually runs really really fluid, you know. If you're into gaming, you know, something like this might interest you. Nice to the game. Maybe I might copy something like this you know, release it as a development board or something. Because of course the emulator created the menu pretty easily, and yeah, it's a really good, you know, little console for hacking stuff with embedded Linux. And see, we have the option to suspend, we could resume, and of course we have the option to power off, so it'll shut off the Linux system properly. And that's it. Now if you turn it on and you know, you didn't shut it down properly, it will take longer to start up with next boot, because there's a system in place to check for you know, a dirty shutdown. So yeah, this is the device. It's really nice, and I highly recommend for anyone doing embedded Linux. I'll leave links below so you could look at the you know, look at the build root system for it. And even I think a generic Alwinner F1C100s kernel, you know, Linux kernel could run on it. So Of course, you're not going to get a full, Linux distro on it, but a nice embedded Linux distro in there, so you could do a nice GUI with it. There's so much options for embedded Linux GUIs over from all the years, so it's too difficult to get one. And so that's my take on this. So it's a good device for Linux hacking. I have a lot of stuff I want to try with this. Without fear of breaking it, and everything is on a bootable SD card, and it's external and rechargeable, and it's a really good tool for embedded Linux hacking. That's it, guys. I'll see you all in another video, and thanks for watching.